Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
At Michigan First Mortgage, we believe a home is more than just four walls. It's endless possibilities, where relationships are strengthened and next steps are taken. It's a place to call your very own, where you can create new traditions and welcome family with open arms. And at Michigan First, it's at the heart of everything we do. Let us help you discover the possibilities of home.
From our very first breath, curiosity is why we question everything through barrages of whys and how comes. It now needs the tools to will its vision into existence. Tools that will forever allow curiosity to obscure the line between technology and magic. Be curious. Make magic. Lawrence Technological University.
Chevy Silverado has what it takes to do it all. With a TurboMax engine and a 13.4-inch diagonal touchscreen. Any truck can help you make a living. This one helps you build a life. Chevy Silverado.
Or GM employees with a current eligible lease can get this Silverado for $299 a month. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
Heights, Michigan, number 1, Samantha Jones. At attack, a junior from Oxford, Michigan, number 2, Olivia Sewell. In goal for the Warriors, a sophomore from Benton, Michigan, number 4, Lauren Gagnon. At midfield, a senior from Harrison Township, Michigan, number 5, Bella Welker. At midfield, a sophomore from Rochester Hills, Michigan, number 7, Jessica Cadman. At attack, a freshman from Oxford, Michigan, number 12, Gracie Phelps. At attack, a junior from Warren, Michigan, number 13, Emma DeMonico. At attack, a senior from Plymouth, Michigan, number 18, Samantha Williamson. At defense, a sophomore from Clarkston, Michigan, number 20, Amelia Williams. At midfield, a sophomore from Troy, Michigan, number 21, Liliana Tastich. At defense, a freshman from Rochester, Michigan, number 35, Kendall Cabot. At defense, a sophomore from Warren, Michigan, number 36, Nicole Roble. The Warriors are coached by head coach Rebecca Sewell. In her first season, she is assisted by Victoria McKellahan. Now for the starting lineup for your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils. At attack, a junior from Grand Haven, Michigan, number 1, Sydney Robinson. At midfield, a freshman from West Bloomfield, Michigan, number 2, Reese Nevin. At attack, a sophomore from Zeeland, Michigan, number 3, Bella LaWurst. At midfield, a junior from Warren, Michigan, number 6, Hannah Dean. At attack, a junior from Caledonia, Michigan, number 7, Hannah Hubner. In goal for the Blue Devils, a senior from West Bloomfield, Michigan, number 12, Annabelle O'Clouche. At attack, a sophomore from Canton, Michigan, number 13, Morgan Walagora. At defense, a sophomore from Livonia, Michigan, number 16, Carmen Foster. At defense, a sophomore from West Olive, Michigan, number 22, Jocelyn Vanderswag. At defense, a senior from Saline, Michigan, number 23, Jenna Wright. At midfield, a fifth-year senior from Medina, Ohio, number 25, Jasana Jarvis. At defense, a junior from Milford, Michigan, number 28, Liliana Littner. The Blue Devils are coached by head coach Emma Kuehl in her first season. She is assisted by Chelsea Lancashire, Katie Waits, and Jawan Jones. We ask that you please now rise for the playing of the national anthem.
And a good afternoon, everybody, as we welcome you to Blue Devil Stadium here on the campus of Lawrence Tech for tonight's women's lacrosse WAC action. We got your red-hot Lawrence Tech Blue Devils taking on the incoming Warriors of Rochester Christian University. I'm John Snow with you on the call for this one. Lawrence Tech coming into tonight undefeated in WAC play, having won 5 straight with a perfect 5-0 record in conference play. On a long homestand, as this matchup was originally scheduled for March the 23rd away at Rochester Christian, but due to the inclement weather, it has been rescheduled for today on a Monday. And happy Eclipse Day to everybody out there. Hopefully you enjoyed the nice 72 degrees weather as we have here tonight. Sunshine and sunshine over our great field. So for our opening face-off, the NAI Offensive Player of the Week, Sydney Robinson, will get things going, and it's going to be picked up off the draw by Hannah Dean. Picks it over to Morgan Walagora. Quick feed inside for the worst. Got cut off by the edge by Olivia Soul. Now a quick feed inside to Hubner. Her shot in, a quick goal by Hannah Hubner, and Lawrence Tech with an early 1-0 lead. There's that firepower offense by the Blue Devils as Hubner gets her 21st goal of the year. Her point total goes up to 37.
Number 7, Hannah Hubner. Time of the goal, 20 seconds of the first quarter.
Lawrence Tech is going against a struggling Rochester Christian team, going 0-7 to start the year, as they are at the bottom half of the conference standings with Madonna, as that team also is on a winless streak to start their year as well. Lawrence Tech just faced Madonna on April the 3rd this past Wednesday in a 21-0 shutout win on the road in Livonia, right across I-96. 2 straight road wins for Lawrence Tech coming back home today. This one again is going to be picked up by Hannah Dean. Again over to Walagora. 2 straight draw control victories for Lawrence Tech. Backside for Hubner. Nearly had Reese Nemeth cutting into the inside. Now Robinson looking around all of her options, directing traffic. Put up 22 points last year. 12 goals and 10 assists. And much guaranteed Offensive Player of the Week. And she gets that goal in on a beautiful bounce shot. Sydney Robinson continues adding on the points. Her 41st goal of the year and a point total of 78, and it's 2-0 Blue Devils.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 57 seconds of the first quarter.
Robinson, in her junior year from Grand Haven, is putting together a very dominant year. The draw control specialist with the face-offs. We are only just about a minute in, and 2 goals across for Lawrence Tech as they want to open up early. This week is full of plenty of athletic actions here for Lawrence Tech. Yesterday over the weekend, baseball took care of a 4-game series against Rochester Christian. A battle for the draw control is going to be picked up by Robinson. Long feed up to Hubner. Inside for Walagora on the cut, and a great save by Lauren Ganger, the starting goaltender for Rochester Christian, as this pass is wide. Waiting for it, Liliana Littner. Directing traffic now, Jocelyn Vanderswag. Hubner, inside cut to Robinson, a low shot, and able to make the save as it rolled up right into the jersey. Ganger with the save in the most unlikely of fashions. So 2 straight saves for Ganger as that pass, long attempt, but intercepted there by Jay Santa Jarvis. Laura Ganger is in her sophomore year. She's making her 3rd start, has given up 48 goals this year, making 27 saves, a save percentage of only 36%. Coming in with an 0-3 record. After the pass, another handoff. Hannah Dean with a hard cut to the inside and a beauty of a bounce shot with some authority behind it. Hannah Dean makes it 3-0 Lawrence Tech.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 6, Hannah Dean. Assisted by number 3, Bella Lawrence.
Hannah Dean playing in her 9th game has scored her 11th goal. Her point total goes up to 15. The junior from Warren making the best of the minutes. The Blue Devils are without Elena Smite and Mari Pellman, some of their top scorers and their top attacks in the front side of that offense. So definitely a few more players off the bench getting some starts and a lot more times to grow and compete. Up in the air again. And now it's going to be a race for the ground ball. And again, Hannah Dean with her 3rd draw control. Once again, Lawrence Tech sets up on the offense. Robinson circling around the top side of the 12-meter fan. Around the perimeter, Wallagore gets it over to Hubner. Inside for Robinson, and another goal for Sydney Robinson. On a beautiful fade by Hubner, that connection has done wonders for Lawrence Tech all year. 4-0 Blue Devils.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson.
2 goals for Robinson in this game already. An assist for Hubner. That's her 17th assist. And an early timeout is going to be taken on the field by Rochester Christian as they find themselves trailing by 4 with 11:50 left to go in the first quarter. Lawrence Tech with a strong start. We're going to step aside for the moment.
Hey Siri, what is...
After the timeout, scores 4-0 Lawrence Tech with 11:50 left to go in the first quarter. For Rochester Christian, the Warriors trying to get back on track and trying to get something going in the offense, as this one is going to be again controlled by Hannah Dean off the faceoff. And Dean with a full head of steam. She has a clear lane, and it'll be cut off at the last moment. Wallagora feed pass inside to Nemeth was low, but on the ground ball pickup was by Vanderswag. Hannah Dean nearly pulled off another goal within a few seconds after the faceoff. But to talk about more of the early struggles for this Warriors team, they have only put across 5 goals in these first 7 games of the year for Rochester Christian. As Hubner in a bit of traffic, the yellow flag is up, and they will call the penalty for the cross-check. This will be a free position shot coming for Hubner. In comes Hubner, able to get it in for the goal. Hubner with another one, her second. It is 5-0 Lawrence Tech after the penalty. Just a minute after the timeout, the Blue Devils tack on another one here in the first quarter.
Tech free possession goal scored by number 7, Hannah Hubner. Time of the goal, 4:10 of the first quarter.
And Lawrence Tech has been quite on the roll. After dropping their first game here at home, the home opener against the University of the Cumberlands, that was a 12-9 loss. And then came back the following week on March the 21st and then took care of business against 7th-ranked Indiana Tech, a 19-7 win there. And this one is again controlled by Robinson, quickly up to LaWerse. Then going on the road to Ann Arbor to face Concordia, who has some receiving votes, as Vanderswag with a nifty move inside got into the double team. Now controls pace around the outside, flips it back up top for Robinson. A 22-6 victory over the Cardinals. Then coming back home again to take on Bethel, a 22-10 victory there. Then 2 road games, a 21-0 win over Madonna. As this feed passes inside for LaWerse. It'll get for a double team and a running away shot. LaWerse with an impressive goal to make it 6-0 Blue Devils. Bella LaWerse in her 10th game has just scored her 14th goal, giving her point total up to 15.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 3, Bella LaWerse.
LaWerse had a 3-goal game in that home game against Indiana Tech. And then the most previous game, the 16-2 win on the road in Adrian against Siena Heights. Lawrence Tech is maintaining a number 3 spot within the NAIA rankings. As the University of Cumberland is still within those top 3, currently at the number 2 spot. Reinhardt University out of Georgia with an 11-1 record, a total of 120 points. They have taken over the spot of the number 1 team in the country. Wallagora on the inside, a high shot. She goes top shelf. Morgan Wallagora makes it 7-0 LTU. Wallagora has missed some time with a couple of injuries. She's now playing in her 8th game. She has just scored her 5th goal of the year.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 13.
Under 10 minutes left to go. 9:49 to be exact.
Time of the goal, 5:11 of the first quarter.
As looking at the top 10 rankings of the women's lacrosse across the nation in the NAI, Reinhardt, Cumberland's, then Lawrence Tech, then filling out the final 2 spots of the top 5. SCAD Savannah, the Savannah College of Architecture and Design, the runner-up of last year's NAI National Championship. Then Missouri Baptist and Kaiser filling out 5 and 6, as Dean with an aggressive grab on the bounce. Another draw control for Hannah Dean. That's number 4 on the game. We're only in the first quarter. Then right after Kaiser, Indiana Tech still maintaining a number 7 spot with an 8-3 record and a total of 73 points. Then Life University out of Georgia, the Running Eagles, a 10-3 record there, but only putting up a 71-point affair. Robinson ran into the double team. A feed inside to Nemeth. Her shot got blocked by a stick, and it's going to be picked up by the ground ball by Wallagora. Inside to Vanderswag. Quick goal there for Vanderswag. Off the assist by Wallagora, it is 9-0 Blue Devils on the 10th goal of the year by Jocelyn Vanderswag.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 22, Jocelyn Vanderswag. Assisted by number 13, Morgan Wallagora. Time of the goal, 5:55 of the first quarter.
For Wallagora, that was only her first assist of the year, and for Vanderswag, who is primarily a defensive position, has moved around to midfield, and today in the pure attack position has made dividends. Only about 40 seconds after the most previous goal, the offense is just clicking on all cylinders, as this draw control is going to be won by Rochester Christian, and Jessica Cadman is going to lead the Warriors to their first offensive possession of the day, and not before Jenna Wright comes in and takes it right away. Able to absorb a hit. Wright keeps moving down the field with a good clear. up to Hubner. Right. Comes through with a clear lane, but bobbled the pass. Ground ball is loose, and it's still up for grabs. The worst still kicking it around, trying to fight it off. Lilian Artach is forcing it out of bounds, and it's going to stay with Lawrence Tech. Hubner, made that Robinson rather. Looking for an open lane. And then a quick goal on the inside. Hubner with her third off the Robinson pass. Again, the Robinson and Hubner connection, and it's now 9-0. Lawrence Tech pouring it on here in the first quarter.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 7, Hannah Hubner. Assisted by number 1, Sydney Robinson.
9 goals on 6 assists. A total of 12 shots taken for Lawrence Tech in this game. So back to center circle for another faceoff. Finish out the bottom 3 of the top 10 of the NAI. Marian University, another member of the WAC conference for women's lacrosse, as this ground ball is going to be picked up by Jarvis, is in 9th place with a 6-4 record, a total of 56 points. Then Benedictine College, a NAI national champion 2 years ago, they have 7-3 record with 44 points. And then finishing out in the number 10 spot, Ave Maria has moved into the top 10 with a 4-4 record of 44 points. But not to be forgotten about all the teams with some receiving votes, one of those being Concordia from the WAC. Robinson directing traffic, looking for a pass. Instead, she'll cut to the inside through the double team and reversing the hands. Robinson with her third goal, and there is the 10 spot here in the first quarter to create the running clock.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 8:47 of the first quarter.
So with under 7 minutes left to go, Lawrence Tech has the running clock in their favor, and we're only in the first quarter. An impressive showing in the early going for Lawrence Tech. Right off the bat, a one-handed snare and another draw control victory for Robinson. That's her third off the faceoff. Not wasting any time inside of Wallagora. Few seconds after the faceoff, Morgan Wallagora with her second goal. Do not blink on this LTU offense. Morgan Wallagora, the sister of last year's senior Caitlin, a leader and captain of the LTU offense, has definitely taken over a sister-type role as she keeps moving up within the program. Wallagora is only in her sophomore year, so even as a freshman, being part of an NAIA-level first-place team and winning a national championship with her own sister, it's definitely got to be an experience she'll never forget. At this time, it's Bella LaWorst. They'll take over the face-off, and the ground ball is going to be picked up, but then knocked around. Another ground ball, and this time LaWorst does come away with it as Gracie Phelps had it taken right off her stick. Inside again to Vanderswag, and a great save by Ganger. And this ground ball is going to be picked up by Kendall Cabot. Instead, but it went out of bounds, as by correction, that's Nicole Robel. Robel had to go out of bounds, and now Reese Nemeth is going to start the LTU offense again. Under 5 minutes now. an 11-0 game here in the first quarter. Robinson to start the carousel around the cage. Inside to Nemeth on a high pass. Nemeth was trying to shovel it over to Robinson, and great stick work, able to pick it up off the ground. Once again, inside, Walagora had to go off of her stick, kicked it with the foot. Nemeth got a stick from behind, and that one nearly scooted across the line, but Ganger was able to pick it up. And now a missed pass off the stick of Tashish. And now Tashish is trying to escape the defense, but still the pressure is just way too much. Dean with a good stick in there, picked up by Nemeth. Pass over to Vanderswag, and the Warriors are unable to clear. Lawrence Tech with a little bit more pace this time around in the offense. A big bounce pass. It was knocked down by LaWurst. Had to find it off the ground. 3 minutes left to go in the first. Hubner got through a lot of traffic inside of LaWurst, and LaWurst with another goal. Put up a dozen. The clock keeps running, but Lawrence Tech keeps scoring.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 3, Bella LaWurst. Assisted by number 7, Hannah Hubner. Time of the goal, 12:10 of the first quarter.
The Warriors are underneath the leadership of Rebecca Sewell in her first year at the helm of Rochester Christian. And the same goes for first-year head coach Emma Keel, as once an assistant to Marianne Meltzer, now the athletic director at Lawrence Tech. This draw control is up for grabs on the ground, and Jarvis is able to win the foot race. Jason Jarvis, a grad student coming back for another year. Talks things over with Vanderswag as the offense sets up once more. Another low pass picked up by LaWurst. Around the perimeter they go. Vanderswag will give it back to Jarvis. Now here's the speed. Hubner got a tight window pass to Vanderswag. They got pressured right away. A handoff to Robinson. Robinson with a cut to the inside, ran to a double team. A feed pass, but a high one to Walagora. And this is going to be a turnover. First one by Lawrence Tech in this game. Definitely would have had a wide open lane for possibly another goal. And this is a loose ground ball. It's going to be picked up by Phelps. And then a bad pass, waiting for it, was Bella LaWurst. And another turnover, the third by the Warriors in this first quarter. Clock winding down. Final seconds. Robinson. And they do blow a whistle for a penalty, but that's going to end the period. A dominant first period. A Baker's dozen. 12-0 is the score. Lawrence Tech will continue to have the running clock and a free position shot to start the second quarter. We'll return back in a moment. Welcome back, everybody, for the second period of play. Lawrence Tech putting up a dominant 12-goal first quarter. 12 goals on 8 assists, 16 shots taken, 5 ground ball pickups, 1 successful clear. Only 2 turnovers for Lawrence Tech to the 5 of the Warriors as this face-off. The draw control was taken by Gracie Phelps. And then cutting in front on the pass. Another takeaway for Jenna Wright. And Wright with a full head of steam. Nearly had a goal chance her first time. Will lead the offense once again. 6th turnover by Rochester Christian. We have a new goalkeeper for Lawrence Tech. Annabelle Klusch will take some time this quarter and give way to Alexandra Majado. Majado's in her senior year. She's from Las Vegas. Feed pass inside. Falling forward was Jenna Wright, but the stick does come on down from Lauren Ganger. Low bounce pass. That one was picked up by Tashish. Got pressured by Jarvis in the first successful clear of the day for the Warriors. Long bounce pass again. Loose on the ground. Wallagore trying to shovel it, and that one's going to be picked up by Dean. Another turnover. The 5th caused turnover by Lawrence Tech. Make that 6 now on 7 turnovers. And for Majado on the other end for Lawrence Tech, she's playing now in her 5th game. Only given up 15 goals, a goals against average of just over 8, 9 saves, and a 2-0 record. Lawrence Tech with the running clock. Long feed pass back up top for Vanderswag. Bounce pass, a good block there by Lawrence to prevent it from going out of bounds. Now with a little bit of speed, Hubner looking for an open lane. Picked up by Robinson. 20 seconds remaining on the play clock. A cut back to the inside, got around one defender, trying to go over the shoulder and behind the back, but it goes way out of bounds. Lawrence Tech remains with the possession, though. Inside again, off the stick of Nemeth. waiting for the ground ball and picking it up is Jarvis. But a penalty was called, and possession is going to go to the Warriors. DeSheets will give it off to Jessica Cadman, and then hit from behind by Vanderswag. A loose ground ball, still shoveled up, and LaWorst trying to go after it. Gets a stick down and able to pick it up. Lawrence Tech with another caused turnover, their 7th. Relentless as they come. The Blue Devils trying to pour on and add more across. Walagore analyzing all of her options, trying to look for the open pass. Feed pass on a tight window and a low shot and an impressive one by Robinson. And they will count it. After the discussion by the officials, Sydney Robinson with her 4th goal of this game to make it 13-0.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Assisted by number 7.
No flags were up. No whistle was blown.
12 of this second quarter.
Referee still had to make sure. Clock continues to run. And another assist by Hubner from the backside. Hubner now with 4 assists in this game. Another draw control for possession. That one is loose on the ground, and it's going to be almost picked up by Phelps. And then on the receiving end, Miley Williams passes it back to Cadman. And this would be the first real setup on the offense for the Warriors, but this one goes out of bounds, and it will go back to Lawrence Tech. Karen Saylor off the bench playing defense and able to create the turnover again. That is now 8 caused turnovers at this long pass, and now Robinson with a mishandle, and a mishandle on that side and a hard collision, and the whistle does blow, and they will stop the clock. And this is going to be a green card issued. And then heading over to the sideline is Olivia Soule, the junior from Oxford. So this will be a 1-minute penalty. Even with the running clock, they will have to stop the clocks for all the penalties. So LaWorst to hand it off to Robinson for now a player up situation. Lawrence Tech with the advantage. And now we're going to get another whistle here. And now the officials were trying to keep count of how many Rochester players were on the defensive side. Miley Williams did vacate, but they decided not to call the penalty. Inside though for Vanderswag, and a great save by Ganger. And now a low pass. That one gets away, and it's going to roll out of bounds. And it's going to be Lawrence Tech ball off the turnover, the 10th by the Warriors. Inside for Nemeth, and she gets it in on the low bounce shot. Reese Nemeth makes it a 14-0 game. Nemeth with her third goal of the year, give her 3 total points on the year.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 2, Reese Nemeth. Assisted by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 6:56 of the second quarter.
3 goals for the freshman from West Bloomfield. Went to Walled Lake Northern High School. $7:15 left to go. And it will be Nemeth to take the face-off. Couple of discussions on the field. The penalty was over, and the goal did happen right before the penalty was over. Now draw control and through all the traffic. Liliana Tashish with the pickup, trying to cut through. And a good block there by Wright. And then another pass that goes into no man's land, and it's going to be picked up by LaWorst, but then she had a mishandle. Picked up by Phelps. And now a double team by Saylor and Vanderswag. A real, true double team, really pushing Phelps away. And then a pass inside to Cadman. And now the real, true first setup. Cadman trying to cut around the corner. Gets blocked by LaWorst. And then a good force out by the Blue Devils. A mishandle of the pass by Tashish. Cutting through the double team was Cadman. Takes a bit of a shove from Vanderswag. Phelps being forced out by Saylor, and then another bad pass, that time by DeMonico. This has been Rochester Christian's biggest opportunity on the offense to really set up, but the defense is keeping them wide amongst the field. Able to cut back to the inside again. A stick-on-stick from behind, and a clean takeaway by Nemeth. Feed pass up for Hubner. This is 3-on-2 on the way. Feed inside, but a mishandle by Wallagora. Lawrence Tech had the opportunity. And now they're going to slow things down. Under 5 minutes left to go here in the first half. Hubner cutting through all the way. High shot, top shelf goes Sydney Robinson. Her 5th. And put up 15. Lawrence Tech does so here in the first half.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 10:23 of the second quarter.
And we're going to get a timeout called by Rochester Christian. Lawrence Tech continues to pile onto their lead. It is 15-0 here in the first half. We'll step aside for a moment right here in the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. is a 15-0 game as there is 4:21 left in the first half of play. Lawrence Tech with a dominant first period, putting up a dozen, has added on 3 more. And looking to add on even more is before we go into the half. It'll be Jocelyn Vanderswalk to take this face-off. Third different player for Lawrence Tech. Robinson did her job with 4 of her own draw controls. Then it was Bella the worst, and now Vanderswalk to take her turns. Straight up in the air. A battle for on the ground, picked up by Hannah Dean. Number 6 for the draw controls. The upcoming schedule for Lawrence Tech as the season is winding down. They have 2 more home games as they will take on Aquinas back here at Blue Devil Stadium on April the 10th. That's this upcoming Wednesday. And then to finish out the year on Senior Day, mark that in your calendars, April the 13th, this upcoming Saturday at 1 o'clock, right back here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. The Senior Day festivities are definitely something you don't want to miss. So Dean ran right into a block, that time by Cabot. Robinson with a handoff. Cut inside by Dean, but ran right into a double team. Hands off to Nemeth. Around the perimeter, Walagora nearly had a pass. Again, trying to cut herself inside. A handoff to Nemeth. Nemeth through the double team. Tried to go for the bounce shot and just went high. And possession's going to stay with Lawrence Tech. A good, impressive move by Nemeth, but just missed the top post. Dean again, cutting inside. Robinson. Oh my goodness, what an impressive shot attempt. She went between the legs as her back was turned, but a great awareness by Ganger to make the save. So Tashish from outside the mark, but a turnover. Here's Walagora. Inside to Nemeth. And Nemeth will back up as she ran into the double team. But I am just surely surprised as Dean will take a cut to the inside as we're going to get a penalty called here. And this is going to be a free position shot here for contact to the head. So Dean will get her chance. Dean coming in. She scores. Hannah Dean with her second goal. It is now 16-0.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 6, Hannah Dean. Time of the goal, 12:57 of the second quarter.
Under 2 minutes left to go. Lawrence Tech has added 4 more goals here in the second period. So in our face-off in center circle, this one a liner on the ground, a race for it, and Jarvis got tripped up. And they will blow the whistle for the trip. Under a minute left to go. Jarvis able to clear for Lawrence Tech. Hubner inside for a tight window. Jarvis with a shot, and it got blocked in front. And they're going to call a penalty here, and it's for a yellow card. And it's going to be on a follow-through. Jarvis on the shot attempt made contact with one of the Warriors players, and therefore it's issued a yellow card, a 2-minute penalty. More so incidental contact. And they will have to stop the clock for the penalty. 16 seconds left to go. It's one of those penalties in which you're looking for the safety and well-being of the other players for a follow-through penalty on the shot attempt. So this will be a carryover penalty into the second half. Dashish will try to clear for the Warriors and loses on the bounce. Vanderswag with another stick on it and pressure from behind. There's Hubner. Lawrence Tech with the possession. That's going to run out the first half. A dominant first half has been played here at Blue Devil Stadium. 15 goals for the Blue Devils of Lawrence Tech. They go into half up big, trying to go for a second shutout of the season. They had a shutout just this past week against Padana, trying to do the same thing again against the Warriors of Rochester Christian. So we're going to be back in about 10 minutes. John Stowe saying stick around for more goals to come on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Welcome back, everybody. Second half is underway, and a shovel pass is going to be out of play, but nearly saved by Vanderswag, but it'll be Warriors ball to start it off, right to the draw control. Lawrence Tech holding on to a 16-0 lead. John Snow back with you for the call of this game, and what has been all Lawrence Tech from the get-go. And quick penalty on the play. Lawrence Tech was able to shut out the Warriors in the entire first half as this bounce pass gets away. It's going to be picked up out of the ground, but then a stick-on-stick, and it's going to be picked up by Reese Nemeth. A minute left to go in the Lawrence Tech penalty that was issued to Jay Santa Jarvis for the follow-through for a shot attempt back in the first half. Lawrence Tech short-handed to begin the second half of this third period. Sydney Robinson, who has 5 goals already, will hand it off to Hannah Dean. Dean coming in, bounce shot, top shelf. Hannah Dean with her 3rd goal of the day. 17-0, Lawrence Tech. A shorthanded goal to begin the third period for the Blue Devils, as the penalty will be over.
Assisted by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 1:23 of the third quarter.
Sydney Robinson will get the assist for that goal. That gives her 5 total assists, matching her 5 goals. A total of 10 points in this one game. Jarvis will pick it up after coming back onto the field after her penalty. And there is going to be a penalty called against Lawrence Tech, which will give possession right back to the Warriors. Tashish trying to work her way through the traffic. And again, they're going to call the penalty for the stick on stick, or more so stick on body, rather. Tashish had it knocked down. Another battle for it. Dean trying to put in the shove. Good pressure. The worst, or make that Dean rather, nearly had it knocked away again. Back and forth between Williams and Cadman, trying to elude the high pressure defense of the Blue Devils. And once again, it's knocked loose. And this time it's Vanderswag with the takeaway. Vanderswag took a big shove there by Robel. And for more on Sydney Robinson, 5 goals and 5 assists in this game, giving her a point total of 10 in this game. That is now second best in the record books for us for most points in a game. One more, she would be tying Isabella Vickers for 11 in a game. That record was set back on March the 23rd, back in 2018. And Robinson has also tied a record that she made back in 2022 on the 16th of April when she's at 5. A handoff again to Dean. Inside to Vanderswag. Reverse the hands, and a good save by Ganger. Ganger will haul it in. And now looking for an open pass. Softly on it, is able to get it over to Phelps. Off the stick, loose ground ball. Off the stick of Nemeth, and Phelps with the pickup. Nemeth will apply the pressure, able to reverse the engines. Pass along to Tashish. Rochester trying to clear. They're only 1 out of 8. A shovel pass cutting in front is Morgan Walagora, but it goes out of play. Robinson is tied with Isabel Vickers in second place for most assists in a game with 6. There's actually a three-way tie for second place. Khadijah Callow, back in 2014, first set the record of 6. Ashley Collins holds that record. She set that back on April the 11th of 2018 with 7. Samantha Johns is trying to give Rochester Christian their second clearing attempt, and she gets knocked down. Foul is called, or make that Jessica Cadman rather. And they're going to stop the clock again, or they actually did not reset the play clock. So they had to stop the game clock in order to reset the play clock, so everything will resume. Under 10 minutes left to go. Knocked down from behind again, and they will call another penalty. Lawrence Tech still playing ultra aggressive, being up by 17. Still wanting to make this a difficult mountain to climb, as there's a bad pass, giving chase, having to keep it in play. Nicole Robel. And again, a ground ball that's knocked loose, and another penalty is going to be called. Yanger just trying to move things forward for Rochester Christian, and a bad pass loose out in center circle is going to be picked up by Carmen Foster. Foster is going to bring things up the field for Lawrence Tech. Now off the stick of Vanderswag, going to be picked up by Hannah Dean. They will trade places. Tight window pass over to Robinson. Phelps nearly cut in front. Now Robinson will lead the LTU offense once again. Talking more about the upcoming schedule. 2 remaining home games in the conference play, as Hubner looking for an open pass. Gets it over to Dean. After the 2 home games against Aquinas and Marion, the WAC tournament will start April the 16th on a Tuesday. For the quarterfinals, inside to Foster, and Carmen Foster finds the back of the net to put LTU up 18-0. Foster with her first goal of the year. Moving from her defensive spot into the offense. And Carmen Foster is able to get her first goal across of the year.
Time to goal is 7:40 of the third quarter.
Defense player in her sophomore year. She's from Livonia, went to Divine Child. And for first year head coach Emma Keel, she can definitely move around her players to try to get more experience on both sides of the field. Off the draw, Jace Anna Jarvis. Now Robinson. Feed inside to Dean again, and Dean with another goal, her 4th. And another assist for Sydney Robinson. There is number 6. She has tied her second place record again. 19-0 Lawrence Tech.
Assisted by number 1, Sydney Robinson. Time of the goal, 8:56 of the third quarter.
And the irony of this, Sydney Robinson, the last game in which she put 6 assists in one game, was just 2 days prior to 2 years ago today. She said it on April the 6th of 2022. And here on April the 8th, 2024, Sydney Robinson ties another record within her own. So once again, another face-off and a pass that got through a triangle of players, picked up by Hubner. By correction, it is 18-0. Robinson again able to work through traffic. So 12 goals in the first quarter, 3 in the second. Robinson got through everybody, and Robinson scores again. Goal number 6. And with that, Sydney Robinson has tied the single game points with 11 in this game.
Lawrence Tech goal scored by number 1, Sydney Robinson. That goal unassisted at 10:30 of the third quarter.
Is by correction. With that goal, making it a 20-0 game, Sydney Robinson has taken over as the new leader for most points in a single game as she surpassed Isabella Vickers, a record that was set back in 2018. Dean with the pickup. It is a 20-0 game. Lawrence Tech is one goal away from matching their score that they put up against Madonna just this past week on the road in Livonia. But what a moment for Sydney Robinson, putting herself in the record books. A new leader for most points in a single game with 12. 6 assists and 6 goals. And of course, the record for single game goals is 8, in which there is a tie by Callow and Alyssa Schaefer. Records that were set back in 2014 and 2017. Alyssa Schaefer has the third best with 7. She did that 4 times in her great career here at Lawrence Tech. As this ground ball is going to be picked up by Dean. 15 seconds left to go in the play clock. Nemeth taking a few shoves. Gives way. Robinson has to cut inside again. A low shot that was blocked. And they are going to call a penalty, though. And it will be on Robinson. And this appears to be possibly another yellow card issued. And it will be for another follow-through penalty. Second follow-through penalty against Lawrence Tech. It was Jason Jarvis to end the first half, and now Robinson, who's had a really great game, will be out for the next 2 minutes. So once again, Lawrence Tech down a player. Not that it affected them in any way. They scored shorthanded to begin this third quarter as we're under 2 minutes left to go. Ganger, her pass was picked off by Walagora. And now Hubner will set up the LTU offense once again. Five goals across for Lawrence Tech in this third period. Hand off to the worst. A handoff to Dean. The penalty will wind up and end the third period as Vanderswag thought about taking a shot. A long feed pass inside to Hubner, but ran into a triple team of Warriors right in front. Under a minute left to go in the period. under a minute left to go in the penalty. LaWarris around the backside gives way to Vanderswag. And off to Dean. Gives now to Nemeth. 20 seconds on the play clock. Nemeth reverses the hands and gets it in on the bounce shot. Reese Nemeth with her second. And they do match the score they put up by Madonna. It's a 3-touchdown score through 3 periods for Lawrence Tech.
Scored by number 2, Reese Nemeth. That goal unassisted at 14:37 of the third quarter.
That's going to end the period. Lawrence Tech has put across 6 more goals to add on to their lead, and there are still 15 more minutes left to play. The Blue Devils up by 3 touchdowns as we will be right back for the final period of this game. Final period to be played between Rochester Christian and Lawrence Tech. The Blue Devils have put themselves up 21-0 after having a dominant 12-goal first period, as this ground ball is going to be picked up by LaWarce, but the penalty has been called for possession. It's going to give way to the Warriors. Rochester Christian has yet to put a single shot attempt near the net. Phelps trying to change that. Able to get through one defender, and they will stop the clock as Vanderswag hit the deck. And if that's something Lawrence Tech does not need to deal with anymore is injuries, because tonight they do not have Elena Smite and Mari Pellman on the roster. And as both of them are dealing with injuries right now, we wish the best for them in their recoveries, as they are very key pieces to this offense going down the stretch, especially into the WAC tournament and then possibly the NAIA tournament, as the battle for the ground ball was picked up by Robel. And now Nicole Robel, sophomore from Warren, trying to lead the Warriors to at least get a shot attempt across and possibly crack the scoreboard. They've only, coming into tonight, the Warriors have only scored 5 goals through 7 games, in which only averaging 1 goal a game, just barely. Trying to change that is Jessica Cadman, but going to a double team and the ball knocked loose. Another caused turnover, that time again by Jenna Wright. Wright has 5 caused turnovers. 3 of them were by interception, as Dean gets it up to Robinson. Done with the penalty. Robinson can add on to her day, making more in the record books. Elects to back off to let her team settle up. Emma Keel and the Blue Devils can do a lot of different things in this scenario. Something will definitely help improve the function of this team down the road. Orange Tech with a 5-0 record in conference play, 9-1 overall, taking command in the WAC. A two-way tie for second place between Marion and Indiana Tech. Orange Tech will face Marion on this upcoming Saturday for Senior Day, right here at home for the final game of conference. Bethel and Concordia have a good tie for third place. And now Dean was looking to pass, but it popped out. Taken back by Cadman. And then the ground ball is going to be picked up by Tashish. And now Tashish, off the turnover, is going to be able to clear. Only the second good clear by the Warriors today, as they're 2 out of 7. Tashish, and then from behind, Nemeth with a great pickup. And Mojado is able to get it. Off the breakaway, the best chance of the day for the Warriors, just to go to waste by the LTU defense. Long pass and a wild one, and it's going to go out of play. And this is going to be another turnover. Back-to-back turnovers by the Blue Devils. Kendall Cabot was also the backup goalkeeper for the Warriors, trying to analyze all of our options of what to do. Gives over to Robel and then gives over to Ganger. She'll leave it in the crease to be picked up by Tashish. Able to get around Nemeth. On a good maneuver, the ball pops out, but it's going to be a penalty as the stick was on the arm. Again, the ball pops out again, but yet they call for another penalty, and they were going to stop the clock, and this is going to be a card issued. Vanderswag will head to the sideline for a quick little green card on the 1-minute penalty for the cross-check.
Green card assessed to Lawrence Tech's number 22, Jocelyn Vanderswag.
Third penalty that's been called against Lawrence Tech today. 2 of them have been yellows, and this is the first green. Once again, Blue Devils will go shorthanded. And now a mishap on the pass. Ground ball is up for grabs. Going to be picked up by Gracie Phelps. Phelps trying to get the Warriors their third clear, and she will do so. Ball pops out, though, but right into the webbing of Hannah Dean. Dean has had herself a good day with 3 goals. Check that, 4 goals for Hannah Dean. And she has turned into a good reliability off the bench, but getting a start here today. .15 seconds left to go in the Orange Tech penalty, as they're going to take their time to allow their offense to be at full strength. Vanderswag to join the offense.
Returns to full strength.
Robinson Analyzing all of our options. 30 seconds left to go on the play clock. We'll feed it back up top for Vanderswag. Robinson to Hubner. Inside for Nemeth, but it goes off the top of her stick. Able to regain it. Under 10 seconds left to go to the play clock. Nemeth is going to have to work quick. Able to get around one defender. Trying to cut back inside again, and this is going to be a play clock violation against Lawrence Tech. Another turnover, the third of this fourth quarter. Once again, Tashish trying to work her way down the field. Has to dump it off, but it's a wild pass. Jarvis in a race for it is going to let it go out of play for the turnover. Lawrence Tech with another possession. Bounce pass that was read beautifully by Robinson. She was able to jump and grab it in midair. And once again, the Blue Devils analyzing, poising to strike. $12 goals in the first, 4 goals in the second, 5 put across in the third. Robinson trying to look through the carousel of players working their way in and out of the fan. Robinson will just do it herself, try to go for the low bounce shot. The hand went up for the penalty, but the ball went out of play, and they're going to give possession to the Warriors. In the upcoming schedule for Rochester Christian, coming this Wednesday, they are going to face the Crusaders of Madonna. Both Rochester Christian and Madonna at the bottom end of the conference standings, both searching for their first wins. Once again, ball knocks loose. Madonna with an 0-6 record in conference, 0-13 to begin throughout their year so far. And once again, they're going to call a penalty, and Vanderswag looked like she got the stick up high. Another cross check, and this is going to be the yellow card.
Yellow card assessed to Lawrence Tech's number 22.
Third yellow card against Lawrence Tech.
2-minute foul for cross check.
So if this score holds, Rochester would be dropping their 8th straight game. Stick on stick, kicked around, but it goes out of bounds. Lawrence Tech ball on the Rochester zone. So on Wednesday, it'll be the battle of 2 winless teams. One will have to claim victor to 1 win on the year. Lawrence Tech is already 1 goal away from tying their highest amount of goals per game with 22. They've done that twice. They did it against Concordia and against Bethel. Inside feed to Robinson. Her shot goes high, and it's going to stay with Lawrence Tech. Robinson was bidding for her 7th goal of the game. 5.5 minutes left to go. Handoff for handoff, but a bad one to Dean. Nemeth has to chase it down. Robinson. Quick feed pass, was looking for Hubner, but it goes off of her sticks. It's going to be picked up by Cabot, but again, having trouble with it. On the bounce, Hubner deep within the corner, has to get around, and she's able to avoid Cabot. But the shot clock has run out. Another shot clock violation against Lawrence Tech, the 2nd of this quarter. And we're going to get a quick timeout called. And it is going to be called by Rochester Christian with 4:40 left to go in what is a 21-0 game. Lawrence Tech has yet to score in this one quarter, so we're going to step aside for the remaining bit of this game. Welcome back, everybody, to the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. It is a 21-0 game in women's lacrosse. Final 4:40 left to go in this game. But we want to let you know the upcoming week schedule for Lawrence Tech Athletics. As tomorrow, on April the 9th, men's golf is going to be on the road at the Lord Spring Invitational in Ottawa Lakes, Michigan. And then tune in tomorrow at 1 and 4 o'clock as baseball is in action as they take on the Crusaders of Madonna. Always a great matchup. One of the right across I-96. And then men's volleyball will be on the road as they take on the Saints of Aquinas. That game is at 7 p.m. And then right back here on Wednesday the 10th, women's golf will be out there at that same Lord Spring Invite. And then softball is on the road in Ann Arbor as they take on Concordia University. And then right back here, your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils, the women's lacrosse, will be in action against Aquinas. They'll be right here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Men's lacrosse will do the same, but they will be on the road in Grand Rapids to take on Aquinas. And then on Friday the 12th, Lawrence Tech's cheerleading team will be at the DTU College Classic Prelims in the Nationals in Orlando, Florida. So we wish them the best of luck down south. Baseball will be action again with a doubleheader against Cornerstone in Utica Jimmy John's Field. That begins at 1 o'clock. And men's volleyball is winding down their season. They take on Bethel University at 7 p.m. right here in Southfield. That will also be on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. And then a busy, and I mean busy, Saturday the 13th. Cheerleading will continue at their Classic Finals in Orlando. Women's and men's track and field will be at Tiffin University in Ohio. And then right here on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network, it is Senior Day for women's lacrosse as they take on Marian University right here at Blue Devil Stadium. Baseball will be on the road against the University of Michigan Dearborn. Softball will be action. It will be Alumni Day for them as they take on the Racers of Northwestern Ohio. Those games will be at 1 and 3 o'clock on the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. Women's golf will be on the road at the Adrian Invite in Tecumseh. Men's volleyball winding down their season once more as they take on Goshen University as the Maple Leafs come into town. And then men's tennis and women's tennis will be taking on the Racers of Northwestern Ohio right here in Southfield as we get another penalty issued. Or actually, no, substitution. Coming in is Mackenzie Stark to fill in the final 3:15. And we get a quick whistle, and there was a foul away from the play. And then rounding out the week on the 14th, that being Sunday, softball will be taking on Indiana Tech. They'll also be taking place in Beverly Hills, right here in the Lawrence Tech Sports Network. A week full of action for Blue Devils athletics. So always stay tuned on social media, especially within our YouTube streams, as Dean kind of lost that in the sun on that pass. And once again, the ball is knocked around, picked up by LaWurst, and LaWurst will put it in. Lawrence Tech, it does put one across here in the fourth quarter to make it 22-0. They matched their season highest with 22 goals in the game, the third time that the Blue Devils have done that this year. 2 minutes left to go, and that will likely wind it down. So with this victory here tonight, Lawrence Tech will move to 6-0 in conference play in the WAC. They get their 10th win overall in the year. And it is just history repeating itself, because last year, early on, Lawrence Tech suffered a loss in the beginning of the year and then went on a run. Even after losing a lot of their seniors from last year, the leadership is there, the talent is there, as the pickup is made by Jay Santa Jarvis, and Lawrence Tech might have time for one more score to give it their highest score of the season. Do we sense a possible 23rd goal? Sidney Robinson, who has already rewritten the history books with the most points in a single game with 12. Six assists and 6 goals, and LaWurst was bidding for another as the save was made by Ganger. 45 seconds left to go. Still Lawrence Tech possession. Robinson will direct traffic. They fake the handoff. They get it inside, but missed on the chance by Stark. Final seconds ticking down. Stark off her stick. They try to get her the chance. And that's going to do it. In a dominant fashion, 22 goals put up.
Today's match, Lawrence Tech 22, Rochester 0.
The second shutout of the season for Lawrence Tech. Rochester Christian suffers their 8th consecutive loss. But stick around, everybody, because tomorrow baseball will be in action, and your Lawrence Tech Blue Devils for women's lacrosse will be back in action here on Wednesday against Aquinas, and then Senior Day. Mark that in your calendars. Senior Day is on Saturdays. They take on Marion to finish out the conference season. So thank you for joining us on Lawrence Tech Sports Network. I'm John Snow signing off for now. We will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed the eclipse, and have a good night, everybody.